So first off, it's called Pit Fighter! Kick a chode's ass, punch a freaker's face.
Throw a bitch-ass shithead little butt down.
Whoop their ass! That's the name of the game here. Whoop their ass! You have to whoop their ass, or you are never going to succeed in your life. They're gonna give you money you're gonna stand on. Yeah. Whether you're a failed pro wrestler, a fucking ninja, or this guy who actually looks like he could actually fight, you gotta beat someone's ass, elbow their ass to the ground, buddy. Everyone's drunk. It doesn't matter. You're probably drunk too. It's like the movie Lionheart meets Bloodsport, which honestly, Pit Fighter's soundtrack is kind of just a ripoff of Bloodsport, so that makes sense. There was something in the air in the 90s because Capcom and Midway instantly capitalized on this idea with their immense underground street fighting tournament games. There's 15 stages, and every 3 matches you gotta fight a grudge match. And that means if you're playing this with someone else in the arcade, you gotta fight them, the person standing right next to you. And the winner gets to keep playing. That's how you keep the quarters flowing into the machine. I love how on the arcade cabinet, the joystick's artwork makes it look like you're one of the people in the crowd betting on the money on the match.
I'm gonna bet this whole damn wad on your ass. You whip this sucker's ass and we split 50-50. Alright? Look at it. Yay.
But that's not all. You gotta fight a host of gnarly B-movie villains. You've got Executioner, Southside Jim, Angel, CC Rider, Mad Miles, Heavy Metal, Chain Man Eddie, and finally, the Masked Warrior, who is basically just Lord Humongous from Mad Max 2. Shout out to the 80s pro wrestling gimmick, also called Lord Humongous from CWA Wrestling, most famously portrayed by Sid Vicious. You could literally do anything you wanted back then. This dude was ridiculous.
What's that idiot doing here?
I can tell by looking at the Master of Pain that he's not used to looking eyeball to eyeball with somebody. And as a matter of fact, he had to look up at Humongous. And if he thinks he's bad, if he thinks he's big, he ain't seen nothing yet till he sees my man in action.
Oh, I think you're probably right about that. Humongous with the king.
I mean, pretty much all the villains you fight are just pro wrestling characters in general. Plus, you can eat this magic fighting drug simply called P. That turns you green and you become infinitely powerful. I mean, you may as well call it PTP. Anywho, if you're playing this game without having to pay for it, you can pretty easily beat all the opponents. Most arcade games this era, it's all about the aesthetics. Well, naturally, you'd think, why didn't they just make a sequel? I meant this was so popular, it literally got ported to every console of the era. Apparently, they were planning on making a sequel, but just said, oh, screw it, and instead pooped out this arcade-only gem. So it's called Guardians of the Hood, and well, it's basically just Pit Fighter 2. It's the same mayhem of Pit Fighter, but now you're literally on the streets, and hey, they even tried to add in some more complicated controls. I mean, you can literally do Street Fighter-style magic moves for some reason. And we get the glory of the early 90s digitized real actor footage. And digging up this promo for the game, it's honestly gold. Check this out. You get to choose from a host of early 90s bodybuilders or martial arts models, and you gotta do what any other overly buffed up monster would naturally think of doing. Yeah, you guessed it. You should probably use your social privilege to get all huge and ripped on steroids and beat the shit out of everyone's ass in the neighborhood. Cause you think you know what's right. This is a whole different kind of gentrification, brother. So you go to people's neighborhoods and you whip anyone's ass on the street you see that looks alike, whether they're actually involved in the gang or not. As they're pretty much just defending themselves at that point. And after you get to the end, you whoop a big boss's ass of that gang who looks like them as well. But oh wait, afterward, you're not over your aggression. You gotta lead yourself back to the gym you trade at, where, once again, if you're playing in the arcade with other people, you gotta fight each other to see who gets to keep playing the game. Quarter munching at its best. But I guess you can choose the boss you just beat after defeating them so they can enjoy your testosterone-fueled destruction campaign. which is an interesting mechanic. They also will now guard the hood. So you're just walking around people's neighborhoods that likely are minding their own business. They're all jacked up from constantly fighting with their friends, just whooping their asses. I mean, there was an actual crime prevention organization called the Guardian Angels who patrolled around rough areas and subways in New York City, and they specialize in unarmed combat to thwart crime. So maybe that's what the game makers were thinking when they were touching into this. I don't know.
You better find another ferry boat in England and turn that into a jail, because you're going to be loading it up with Guardian Angels. We are going to fight for the streets of New York City.
In the end, you go to fight Mr. Big, the big boss of the game, just to find out they're a dominatrix who can shoot blue flames out of their butt. But anyways, you whoop their ass and just go back to your gym and celebrate. And I can't imagine if you beat this game in the arcade when it came out. This ending was actually satisfying, but here it is. Oh yeah, by the way, you're surprise! You're a teenager. Yeah, that guy is definitely not a teenager.